start with needle and thread today. Today is day 5. Ooh. This is a little lighter in person. Maybe if I remove the placemat. Let's try that. Nope, I don't think that should do it any better. That's very pretty. It's deeper and darker in real life. Hi, Racer Cat. And here's my Spinner's Advent Calendar. That's pretty. It is not green at all. It is like a rusty red with light blue running through it. There is no green, no copper. I will try to see if I can get a better picture or better lighting. My kitchen has a tendency to wash everything out or make it a little bit pinker than it really is. But the kitchen table seemed like the best place for this. So, all right, let's see if we can get a better picture of that later. Oh, what a cute little cat. That will also go under a tree for a daughter. Badger loves cats. In fact, she's lobbied to have me change her nickname to Cat or Kitty. We often call her, very sturdy these things, we often call her Badger Cat at home. The tea advent calendar. Now the same woman who sent this, which is a tea, she gave us a note, also sent this little package which contains the rest of the tea she sent, and I am going to sneak in here and grab one of those. I am likely to try the tea in the bubble wrap on a weekend day, weekend night. Okay, so I have no idea. I guess we'll have to try it and find out what flavor it is. And the wine advent calendar. Oh. A Chardonnay from Australia. So I said I would make an advent candle. When I went to the store, I couldn't find a big, thick candle that was also tall. So I am going to make a candle and show you the technique, but I don't know that it will be big enough to have all the days. So I'm going to do a couple of little things here just to show you how we start. This is just plain old tissue paper. I have some stamp. So I think I'm going to do this scene right here. And then I have some number stamps. They'll look like that. I could also do this reindeer, and I might do him too. If I get the reindeer in the frame, it'd be better. So I could also do the reindeer. So I'm just going to stamp them out here and see how I like them, see how it turned out. Now these are unmounted stamps, and I have proper acrylic bases for them, which of course I can't find right now. So I store them in jewel cases for CDs. Does anyone still have CDs? I still have a few. And you just want to make sure that you've loaded that up pretty well. And apply some nice even pressure. And there we have our little reindeer. Now, a person who was really good at this and cared an awful lot, which my in-laws kind of did for a while, some of them still may do, You're supposed to clean the stamps after each use. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So I'm also going to do this little winter scene, and I'm using the same color. You could get very involved and spend a lot of time off screen. You could get very involved and spend a lot of time coloring these in, making sure you got, you know, the trees in the green and the other things in maybe a black or a gray, and the little houses in different colors. I got very, I don't know as to say I got very involved, but I got a lot of stamps right when my younger son was born. My husband's family threw me a baby shower. It was actually a surprise, and it was the cover was a stamping party. They actually had the stamping party part, and they had everyone who came stamp me onesies for the baby, and everybody designed their own. I like that one as well. We're going to do that again. Everyone designed their own semi-custom onesies. And then, of course, it was actually a stamping party, so everyone bought stamps, too. And I had onesies of all sizes. And for the purposes of the direct... I don't like that one either. Direct sales party. I was the hostess of the party, so I had all sorts of stamping credit at the end as everybody bought their stamps because, like I said, his mother's family is very, very interested in craft and that sort of thing. And one of these days I am going to convince some of my husband's aunts to teach me basket weaving. All right, I think I'm going to decide that I like that one well enough. Might use the reindeer. I think it came off the best of all of these. Oh, don't put that away. And then I'm going to get, I also got some thin, what's the word I'm looking for? Thin candles. They're actually emergency candles. Well, I was at the store and I thought that I could try to make it a taper like that. I'm not sure how well this technique works with tapers though, so we'll have to see. What I'm doing right now, I just realized I was doing it off screen, is I'm just lining these guys up. You know, I think those are identical, so I'm not going to worry about it. I think in the past I've spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out which one is the 6 and which one is the 9. What I suspect is going to happen is that my candle isn't actually big enough for this. And so I'll end up decorating a couple of candles with numbers. I guess it actually doesn't matter where I put it on the paper. There we go. All right. So that is step 1, and we will come back to step 2 later. So the next step is to kind of color it in. I have some colored pencils here. If I can get them out. And you have to be really careful because you're coloring on tissue paper, so you don't want to be real aggressive with this. But I want to just wish my pencil was a little sharper and get some brown in here. there's a seam on my table right there. Okay, now very gently gray in some of this smoke instead of the greenish color we've got going there. And of course you could get really, really detailed with your coloring and with your stamping. And I'm just kind of doing a little bit of impressional additions. I don't actually want to spend a ton of time doing this. I have lots and lots of Christmas crafting to do, but we're gonna just now, you can't really hardly see this white, but when I put this image onto the candle, you're more likely to be able to see it. And so I want to make sure that I've done that little extra. It's also picking up a little bit of the texture of the table that this is on, which I think is going to look really good later. Except for that it keeps getting that line. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit more greens, different greens in here. I think I'm going to kind of darken these guys in. I didn't have a green that I thought was darker enough, so I did a little bit of black first, and then I did the green over it. People would be coming down to what I assume is meant to be a church or a schoolhouse. So you want to darken that white a little bit. All right. I think we're going to call it good. Let's see if there's something I want to do to the reindeer. As you can see, I stamped a little bit more once I was off camera. So there's our reindeer. I'm tempted to give him a red nose, but I'm not going to. But I'm really tempted. I gotta stop messing with him, or I'm just gonna keep messing with him. All right. So that is step 2, is coloring in your images. So I did a test run. One of the problems was I could only find thin tapers or short pillars, and what I really wanted was a bigger pillar. The problem with these tapers is you got to put your hand somewhere while you're getting it on there, and so there's nowhere to hide your hand. So I'm not as happy with this. Obviously, my test was just the numbers that have already passed, so it was less. It mattered less. That's how we're going to say that. It mattered less. So let me get all set up, and I'll show you how we did this. And we will transfer one of the colored designs onto this candle, and I will go shopping for another candle later. You know what? I just left a store. I should have checked there. Oh well. candle. Should have waited a second longer before putting my finger there. You probably are going to get just a tiny little bit of wax on your fingers, but it's not super warm by the time it gets to your hand. So, and there you go. You have a nice decorated candle for the holidays. You can write names. You could have written quotes, Bible verses, whatever you are interested in having transferred to your candle. Hi. Today is the day that I always feel like I never get anything done. My kids are in a lot of things, and I have lots of kids. I have 4 children, 3 of them at home. And Thursdays have lots of things, and running around this way and that way, and taking kids here and taking kids there. And I sometimes feel like all I'm doing is being in a car, and I know that lots of other parents can relate to that. So there's not a lot of content today, just because it seems like every half an hour or so I'm in the car. I took my youngest daughter shopping for her choir concert outfit, which is very formulaic, and we had a little bit of trouble finding all of the things. But that's all taken care of, and then we get home, and I took my son back to school, and I picked up my daughter from school, and in a little while I have to leave and take her back, and it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So, you know, in between times, I am working on my knitting and working on other Christmassy projects. I'm hoping to get the village done up tonight, and I am hoping to get the stockings hung by the chimney with care so that kids can put Christmas lists in them for Santa. However, one of my children has already informed me that they don't think they will have time to actually write a Christmas list because there's too much homework. So we'll see. She also has to make cookies for school, so I may be making cookies tonight. This is for a science project, not for exchanging or anything like that. So that is where I'm at and what I'm doing. I will chat with you in a little while.